Hey, Dad, shut up. I got something to say here. Hello, everybody. I'm woefully underprepared for this.
Looks like you've got something typewritten.
Yeah, but I'm going to have to read it.
You might tell everybody who you are.
Do you want to get up here and do this and I can sit there? Actually, I had a hatchet accident earlier. I could use an understudy. Do you want to step in? So anyway, thumbs up, everybody. Here we go.
It's an iPad, Bob.
Okay, well, I'm Cody Wilkie. I'm Jack's son. That's been great. Thank you very much. So, let's see here from...
Here, just to make you a little more. For all of you who want to take pictures, here we are.
All right. Okay, so let's see here. My dad, Jack Wilkie, attended a school called Kingswood Oxford Preparatory Academy. Some of you may know. It sounds really fancy. Right? Yeah. Actually, Don as well, who's somewhere here, yeah, remembers this. So Don might actually know this story. Peggy knows this story because, like me, Peggy was drugged to the Kingswood Academy and made to go all over the grounds and sneak in through all the classrooms. And, so there's one classroom in particular, and it's sort of this old Victorian two-story building. And when my dad was a young lad, he was sitting in class and he was told to do an impromptu writing assignment. You know what I'm talking about here, Dad? So Dad's in class, and he's told to do this assignment where they have to write a tragedy. And so young Jack Wilkie, bored, despondent, staring longingly out the window of the second-story classroom, just thinking of all the other things he could be doing, should be doing. And when he notices this pencil sharpener hanging on the wall next to the window. And it's one of those old school kind of cranky pencil sharpeners. And it's then that his mind begins to wander and his creative juices start to flow. So he puts his pencil to the page and weaves a tale of a hopelessly bored student, a poor child so racked with pain and suffering due to the fact that he's confined to this god-awful cage. Oh, I lost my... Oh, it's going to get a lot worse. So he decides, the character in the story, not my father, that he has no choice but to end it all. So, mustering up what little courage he has left, he runs towards the window and commences to jump to his demise and ultimate relief from the harshness of this cruel, cruel world. But alas, fate had something else in mind, for as our character leaps through the window, the young lad manages to snag his scrotum on the pencil sharpener. Thus aborting his death and causing only more suffering. Now that's a fucking tragedy. Ladies and gentlemen, Jack Wilkie. So before we get into this thing too far, I'd like to start off the way that my dad would. You see, for Jack Wilkie, no day can begin without a very well-practiced ritual. First, you must pee. Don't worry, I'm not going to pee. And if you're not near a toilet, that's not a problem. You see, for Jack Wilkie, and admittedly myself, actually my mother for that matter, the whole world is your restroom. Front yard, back porch, parking lot outside the Snowmass Monastery. The 10th green at the Hartford Golf Club. Doesn't matter, you just let it rip. So once that's out of the way, then you must shower. In 37 years, I don't believe my father has ever missed a morning shower. And whilst in the shower, you must blow your nose loud enough for your nearest neighbor to hear it, even if your nearest neighbor lives a quarter mile away from you. So once you have showered and you've expectorated, then it's time for your first shot of scope of the day. Take care of that. Keep in mind, there will be many, many more shots of scope as the day goes on, but the first shot is the deepest after all. All right, so here we are. We are, in fact, here. Some of us more so than others. Pretty sure Greg Shaffron is so high right now that, never mind, I'm not going to there is a reason we're all here. We are here to celebrate, commemorate, and of course, inebriate 7 decades of Jack Wilkie. We are all here because of Jack.
Time's up.
So we're all here because of Jack, and that goes double for me. Because I am literally here because of Jack.
You sure it's not the milkman?
We're sure.
Come on, look at me. But it's a humbling thought, you know, that I'm standing here prattling on in front of all you beautiful people, because for some reason, nearly 38 years ago, the universe saw fit to allow Jack Wilkie to get laid. So here's to Jack Wilkie getting laid. I want everyone to notice that Peggy did not raise a glass for that toast. But even though I may be his crowning achievement, see what I did there, crowning? Anyway. I am just one of a multitude of accomplishments that have defined this man's life. He is quite literally a jack of all trades. We have Jack Wilkie the carpenter, Jack Wilkie the general contractor, Jack Wilkie the lumberjack, Wilkie, horse whisperer, realtor, accomplished skier, water skier, scratch golfer, paddleboarder. Seriously, do y'all know about this? About my dad's collection of paddleboards?
What about that scratch golfer?
The man has 8 paddleboards. I have a friend in St. John who owns a paddleboard excursion company. This is her fucking job. She has 8 paddleboards. One of his paddleboards actually holds like 8 people, I think. Where I come from, you need a captain's license to drive something. But see, this is one of those defining qualities of my father. I believe that if we were to look closely at our family crest, we'd find an old Scottish inscription that roughly translates to, anything worth doing is worth overdoing. 8 paddleboards, people. Do you know how many pairs of skis he has? I actually counted last night. He has 6 pairs of skis. And he doesn't even have 2 knees. 6 pairs of skis, 4 pairs of poles, 4 bicycles, 4 pairs of crutches, 21 and a half pairs of shoes. Yeah, I know. Speaking of shoes, Jack has a little quirk that some of you might not be aware of. When he finds something that he likes, whether it's shoes, t-shirts, hats, underwear, he buys it in bulk. And then he hoards it. He holds on to it. Because, God forbid, they might stop making them. After my mom died, we actually were going through the house and we were getting rid of things that were superfluous. And in the back of a closet, I found 6 boxes of brand new white tennis shoes. And I said to my dad, I said, Dad, what the fuck? And he said very assertively, he said, well, they don't make them anymore, and they're my favorite.
And they don't fit anymore.
They're white tennis shoes. They will never stop making white tennis shoes. There's a fine line between collector and hoarder. See, you called it. That's exactly what I was
That's great. Nobody remember that? I'm going to give you that.
Peggy brought something to my attention a while back. She said, so, Cody, what's with all the paper towels? And I said, paper towels? She said, yeah, like the little folded paper towels that I find everywhere. There's one next to the bed, one on the breakfast table. His car has like one in each door, one in the center console. Shit, I found one between the couch cushions, she said.
He just pulled one out of his pocket and walked around through his nose. I watched you.
I was actually about to ask if he might have one in his pocket right now. Told you. You got 2 in your lap, see?
Oh, wait.
Point made.
Rest my case. But you know what? It struck me that growing up, there were always little folded paper towels everywhere. Not to mention a box of Kleenex in every single room in the house. Not to mention Dad's car, desk drawer, etc. But what's stranger is that this behavior never seemed strange to me. I always thought that's what everyone did in their house. They just folded paper towels everywhere.
All the secrets.
Hoarder. Carry lotion. Do y'all know what carry lotion is? Yeah? No? Carry lotion. This is your average, ordinary, all-purpose body lotion. And to us, it's just body lotion. To Jack, it's like, I don't know, Blackbeard's treasure or something. He buys the shit in cases. And again, like the paper towels, he has it everywhere, in all different sizes. His nightstand, there's 2 bottles. Medicine cabinet, 2 bottles. Under the sink, 4 bottles. Over the toilet, there's like half a case of it. Open the glove box of his car, which I did today. That's what I found. His gym bag in the back of his car. Another bottle of this. It's quite incredible. But again, anything worth doing, it's worth overdoing. Which brings me to Jack's biggest and by far most prized collection of all. Injuries. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Injuries. Hence the 4 pairs of crutches. So, I can't...
I gave 2 away.
No, I counted them today. There were 4 pairs there too.
I had 6. Along with the 20 pairs of skis, which I gave a lot away.
I'm not going to be able to remember all these, so I'm just going to rattle off the ones that I could remember. 1 dislocated hip, 1 replaced hip, 1 torn rotator cuff, 1 broken collarbone, at least 2 ankle surgeries, broken back, fused spine, a baker's dozen of broken ribs, torn ACL, torn MCL, torn meniscus, torn patellar tendon, shattered patella, 13 knee surgeries in all. And don't forget the partridge in the pear tree. You know, most people have credit cards that give them, like, travel points or cashback. Jack gets points to Aspen Orthopedics. So seriously, it was kind of embarrassing growing up. Anytime I'd go to the hospital or the doctor for any injury or illness, the doctor would inevitably turn to the nurse and say, "Nurse, go ahead and escort Cody to the Wilkie suite." But all jokes aside, this man has led a pretty remarkable life. And he is a remarkable human.
Yes.
I mean, just look at Peggy's slideshow in there. It's, you know, just incredible, all the millions of things that he's done and been through. And we're all really lucky to have been part of this incredible journey. Perhaps no one more so than I. There is no shortage of shitty fathers in this world. Divorce, neglect, abuse are all rampant in our society, and so I consider it no small miracle that I somehow got to grow up with such an outstanding teacher, role model, and friend. I think it's safe to say that most sons look up to and in some small way want to emulate their fathers. But I can honestly and unabashedly say,
I don't want to do that.
no, this is the sentimental part of the program. I can honestly say that Jack Wilkie is the kind of man that I would like to be if and when I ever decide to grow up. He's kind, thoughtful, respectful, humble, and, well, just one hell of a guy.
Amen.
I got one more page, sorry guys.
Time for the hug and not time for the heart.
Blow your nose in it.
So I would like to leave you all with one more story. Oh yeah, give us one of those nose blowers.
Any of you that might be close to my age or even past my age know that as you grow older, you become allergic to more and more things.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Is bullshit one of those things?
Yes, I'm very allergic to bullshit. I have no tolerance for bullshit. So, get him, come on.
So I'd like to leave you guys with one more story. And I don't think anyone knows this story except for him and me and my mom and Peggy now, because I told Peggy this story. But growing up, my parents always made holidays very special. Even though we were a small family, holidays were always kind of a big deal, really important. And I remember one Christmas in particular when I was very young. I woke up at the crack of 5 and bounded up my stairs to my parents' room. And, "Mom, Dad, Santa's here, he came." Well, you know what kids do, freak out. Santa's here. "Come on, let's go, we gotta go open presents." My dad, obviously not realizing the severity of the situation, says, "All right, you two go downstairs. I gotta pee, shower, and use some scope." So Mom and I go downstairs, and we start investigating the situation. There by the fireplace is an empty plate of cookies. And then next to the cookies was obviously an empty glass of milk. It's definitely here. And next to the empty plate of cookies and the empty glass of milk was an empty plate of carrots, which we had left for the reindeer, obviously. And the carrots were also absent. So the plot thickens. Mom then suggests we go outside to see if there's any further evidence. And there in the snow, just outside the door, was a collar with tiny little bells all over it, such that the reindeer might wear. And so we continue to walk around the house, and I don't know, for those of you who've never seen Jack's house, in the very front is this sort of sloping roof that runs from the very top of the house to about a foot off the ground. And there in the snow were these two parallel lines, about as far apart as they could be, running from the top of the roof all the way to the bottom. And in the middle were all these tiny little hoof prints in the snow.
Wow.
So the linchpin in our case here, you know, we kind of cracked the case. Now I've learned many years later
There is no Santa.
that Santa Claus had not, in fact, visited our house that night. I'm not sure if he got lost, or if he just had too much other shit to do. But what I do know is that after I went to bed that evening, my old man crushed a couple more glasses of eggnog, put on his ski clothes, a big white beard and a Santa hat, climbed up to the top of the motherfucking roof, put his skis on, and then with his legs, as far apart as they would go, went sailing down the fucking roof, making holes in the snow with his poles all the way down. Now, why would he do this, you ask? Well, the answer is simple. Because anything worth doing is worth overdoing. And because he's the best father and dad a boy could hope for.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear John. Happy birthday to Yeah.
I saw that.
Cody was very
That was
You could
like
tell how much you loved your dad.
Who knew it was going to be a road?
Isn't that cool? How are you? I didn't even test up you. I'm sorry. I had to pour the seat. Anyway. Go in this fall.
From me? No. From you. Thank you very much. And each and every one of you that went out of your way to come from wherever you came. New York, Santa Fe, Denver, Vail,
Fort Lauderdale.
Hawaii. Thank you all so much for being here. I hope you've had a good time.
We love you.
It's a special place. I love you all. My God. And if you haven't seen the slideshow that Ms. Wilkie put together, there's some cool photos.
Yeah.
There. Not to go in and stand there for 20 minutes, mind you, but it's worth it.
It's worth it.
All right.